How are you, all of you?
A very good evening to all, and welcome to XNECO's webinar series. Our topic for the day is collaborating for water conservation, driving sustainability together. To conserve water effectively and achieve sustainability, it is essential for diverse stakeholders, including governments, businesses, NGOs, and communities to collaborate. This collaboration should focus on knowledge exchange, resource distribution, and the adaptation of sustainable water management practices. By fostering innovation, teamwork, and responsible stewardship, we can create a future where water remains plentiful and accessible and shared equitably. Together, let us commit to unified water action and lay the foundation for more suitable and resilient world for generations to follow. Let us explore this further. Our esteemed speakers of the day are Dr. Sumit Pal, who is Scientist, Officer Innovation, and Project Manager, GATE at Syngenta Foundation, India, Doctorate in NRM and IIT from IIT Delhi, and ICAR awardee. His organization is actively involved in entrepreneurs development and intervention of innovative CSA technologies to small holders for their livelihood upliftment. We also have Mr. Shreyas Y Trivedi, of Growth and Partnerships at Ekam Eco Solutions Private Limited, renowned for pioneering waterless urinal technology, which was showcased on Shark Tank. The company has also been honored with over 20 awards. Our next esteemed speaker is Mr. Khanwalkar, Sandeep Khanwalkar, Director, EcoSoul Enviro, an organization that is working towards safe water and eco-friendly approaches and solutions. Our next esteemed speaker is Mr. Sunil Ramareddy, Operations Lead at Hands-on CSR Foundation, an organization which has played a vital role in the conservation of water bodies. We welcome you all and are honored by your presence for the webinar. My first question goes to Dr. Sumit Pal. How does water conservation contribute to economic growth of a region, and can water truly be considered the new liquid gold? Also, please elaborate on climate smart irrigation and agriculture.
Okay. Thank you, Srishta. Thank you very much for having me here on this platform and also your organization, Exnico. Yes, obviously, if we talking about water conservation, we talk about the environment, directly the word connected with the environment, but obviously it helping in our economic development also. There is a direct connection with it. Uh, we just dive into a kind of assumption that if a particular community or area or a city or a district going to like start conservation processes of in different way for the water, then they reduce the treatment of that water also, and also it could be helpful in the like maintenance of their infrastructure for water and other things, and also it could be helpful in circular economic way. So if we have all those things, reduction has been taken place, which ultimately going to be helpful for those industries or as I'm from an agriculture, so agriculture is a we can say totally in most of the case it is totally relying on the water use or fresh water use, you can say. But day by day, we are seeing we are having an issue with the fresh water availability. So we are switching towards the wastewater treatment and its reuse in the agriculture sector. So obviously, when we have an opportunity of this kind, we are going to conserve the water. We are going to give those credits, extra credits to those industries which are highly relying on water uses, like manufacturing sector also. It is also highly utilizing water in their sector for production and other things. So if we are if we are moving in that way, like we are helping those industries, which could be ultimately going to helpful in increase the productivity of of maybe in the case of country you can say, maybe in a case of state you can say, and also in creation of job. Different jobs could be created if we have a plenty option of creating more manufacturing and other things in it. So ultimately we can say this water conservation is directly related with economics and its growth also. And we just not forget one more thing. Like if we're talking about water congestion, we talk about the water clarity on it, like less pollute, uh, less. We are going to less pollute the rivers and others water bodies in it. So it directly related with our ecotourism. If we have a classic case of just now from few years, I'm just listening about that in Ladakh region, the famous lake, which is just forgetting the name, Pangong Lake, where peoples are going from different regions of our country and they polluting that river by putting garbage and after eating the whatever the waste they are putting in it, which is not a good thing. So if we are thinking that way, if we conserve that water, if we also less pollute that water, it will ultimately helpful to increase the economics of that country or a state. Coming to your second question, like it's a kind of liquid gold. Uh, Personally, if I talk about this thing, I just want to like I just want to say that uh, we are not going to be expected to go in other situation that it could be treated like a gold, because it's an essential thing for a particular human life or human being. And if it is treated like a gold, it could be not going in the same way for each and every person, because we have a different kind of class of people from lower to upper and high upper also. So obviously, it's a kind of liquid gold, I can also say, because it's totally depend on the particular scarcity and whatever the continuous demand has been increasing day by day on. So if a particular region have a scarcity of water, like because of climate change, we are seeing there is a lot of erratic rainfall has been taken place. Some places where there is a uh, good amount of rainfall, but right now because of climate change, or not change, but situation is right now climate crisis situation is going on. So they are also facing a difficulty in those things, like there is very less rainfall and there is a water scarcity in those area, which ultimately increase the demand for that water to utilize. And also population is growing day by day. Population explosion is taking place. We just number one right now in it in the whole world on that platform of population, you can say. So ultimately what we are saying that the water is going to be depleting day by day because of their because of their excessive use in different sectors, from agriculture to manufacturing. And also uh, this population burst is creating a thing of more demand of that fresh water to the pupils. So we can say it could be like treated liquid gold, because if we just take a classic case of water bottles, what if we go back around 15 or 12 years back, the cost of that Bisleri or whatever the water bottles are present in the market right now is around 10 rupees or 12 rupees. But right now, 1 liter cost is around 20 rupees in 2025. So it directly reflecting that it is a kind of liquid gold, because of demand is more and the scarcity of water is going on and on. So it's a kind of that scenario only. And your third question is about climate smart irrigation and agriculture. Yes, obviously, I'm an agriculture expert for that. I will explain you in a better way, because if through our organization also, through Syngenta Foundation India, we are helping smallholder farmers, marginal farmers. Because of climate change, they are facing yield depletions, and they are highly affected by those things because of climate change and climate crisis. So we are closely viewing those peoples, how they are managing those things and how they are suffering from those things from climate change and climate crisis. So if we talk about the climate smart agriculture or irrigation is a part of agriculture only. So climate smart agriculture totally based on three pillars. Those three pillars, in a short, for just to remembering it, I just call it PAM. P for productivity, A for adaptation, and M for mitigation. So it's a short formula for it to remembering each and every way. So it is depending on those three pillars. Productivity in the sense, we should implement a different kind of climate smart techniques, whether it is for yield enhancement, whether it is for we can say varietal change, whether it is for climate smart variety we have to introduce, whether it is for reduction of fertilizers and other things. It could be helpful in increase the productivity or yield enhancement of particular crop in that area where they are facing the climate crisis. Right now, all over India, the situation is going on, not all over India, but whole world. Then coming on A, which is adaptation. In adaptation, we talk about the different type of variety, just what I have said you, those varieties which are adaptive in those environment, those climate stresses, conditions, where they can sustain and also helpful in increase the yield. So ultimately, we are going to adapt those climate smart varieties in it. Third is mitigation. Obviously, mitigation to reduce something from the environment, like we already know about greenhouse gas emissions and all those things. In agriculture sector, particularly if we're talking about, uh, there are three different gases which we release from agriculture. First is carbon dioxide through using of diesel pumps and other things related to it. Second one is methane, which is releases from the rice cultivated fields in high amount. And third is nitrous oxide, which is released from the nitrogenous fertilizer like urea and DAP, etc. So if we are going to cover these three pillars, we can say we are in a climate smart situation. And through our organization, we are taking too many steps for this. We are providing trainings to each and every persons present in a village for it. We are creating agri entrepreneurs. We are creating climate smart agri entrepreneurs, which helping the farmers to boost more and more. And right now, if we're talking about around 20,000 plus agri entrepreneurs we have created all over India, and they are covering around 2 million farmers in India. So that's all from my side. Thank you for this thing.
Yeah, that was a wonderful input. In fact, there is so much in agriculture, and in fact, if we plan and manage agriculture well, then water conservation can happen, and along with that, the water, as you have rightly pointed out, that the quality of water is deteriorating and the demand for water is increasing. So these are the things which we need to closely look into in order to conserve water, and all sectors need to come forward for it and collaborate for it. So now my next question goes to Mr. Shreyas Trivedi. What approaches can industries take to redesign their product, ensuring greater water efficiency? And are there any established industrial standards currently in place for this?
Thank you so much. It's a really nice question. I just want to add one more thing. You asked about the redesigning of the products. I would like to add one more thing. It's not only about redesigning of product, but it should also be redesigning of projects, redesigning of process. Okay. So what I feel is that different industries should take so many, because it's not only about few options right now. Currently, if you go in market, you will see there are so many options available. Earlier there was an issue that there are not many options. If you go to a small village or a small town in India, okay, they are not very much aware about what kind of products are available in market which will help them to save water. Okay, because of the Ministry of Jal Shakti's, huge campaign regarding this rainwater harvesting, nowadays everyone in even small towns are very much aware about rainwater harvesting. But that's not the only thing which we should do to save water or to conserve water. Okay, there are a lot more things. For an example, if we talk about the water taps, that's a product which we use every day. Okay, we are washing our hands minimum 5 to 10 times each day. So there are products available in market which will help you to reduce that water usage in taps. So if you are using it for the washing of your hands, okay, it will use approx 3 to 5 liters of water in a single use. But if you use some specific kind of aerators, you can reduce that water usage to almost 1 liter or half liter. So that's the first thing. There are also as you already introduced me as the pioneer in waterless urinal technology. So we have developed a technology which is patented. And if we go in detail, there are only three type of technologies available in all around the world, and we are one of them. And we are the only from India which is patented technology and a proven technology. So that technology is available in market, but still so many times when we reach out to customer, they are not aware about that there are waterless urinals also available in market. Say, so what they understand is that there is only one thing, it should be having a flush system in the urinal. So that is also we need to change. When I say that it's not only about redesigning of product, it is also about the process. So one more thing which we see in day to day thing, that corporate buildings or any industry plant or any residential building, they do not have provision to reuse the flushing water. Okay, so currently in so many cities like Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, even Mumbai, in some part of Mumbai, government has implemented that every residential building or any commercial building, okay, they should have to set up an STP in their own premises. They have to treat their own water and they have to reuse it. Okay, so it is like a thing that but the issue is, in current system we do not have that piping. If we talk about plumbing, okay, we do not have that plumbing availability that we can reuse that flushing water again. So that's the thing. So if we are redesigning something, we should also start looking to redesign our projects. So whenever we are constructing a building or we are constructing a new institute, we should always look after this and this kind of things. uh, so we talked about product, we talked about process,
Projects.
and now we talk about projects. Okay, so what we should do is, if we are going for a project, so we should do a life cycle analysis. Okay, life cycle assessment. So it will help us to understand that how we are using water, because sometimes what we feel that water is being used at one point only, but there is a huge life cycle. Okay, because we are pumping it from the groundwater, or maybe we are getting it from a local body, we are paying money there, then we are using it, then we are treating it, then we are again using it at somewhere. So we need to understand and we need to create a closed loop system, so that we can at the same point of time, it is not only about water conservation, but it is also about reducing the water usage. Okay, आपको पानी बचाना है, but also at the same point of time you should also start thinking that how I can reduce my water usage. Okay, so that is another thing. Another point you were asking about is that, are there any established industry standard? Okay, so nowadays there are so many industry standards that promote water conservation. So if we talk about ISO standards, then there is ISO 46001 to 2019, that is specifically for water efficiency management system. Then we have LEED certification, we have green building certification. This kind of certification promotes water conservation. They promote, they give points on basis of what kind of water efficient technologies you are using. So it gives, if you are using aerators in your building or in your project, it gives you extra points. If you are using sewage treatment plant, if you are treating your water, it will give you extra points. So all the things they are deeply looking into. There is also one thing called a net zero discharge. Okay,
Yeah.
so those kind of companies. So I think I have written 2 3 examples also. Tata Group, they are doing it, and there are multiple projects where they are going for net zero. They do not want to discharge anything out. So whatever water is being used, they want to use it again and again and again. Okay, so those kind of standards are there. What we just need to do is, we just need to start talking about it, so people will be very much aware about that. Okay, we can save water like this also.
Yeah.
So once they are aware, then and then they will implement this in their projects. So I think that's it from my side. I hope I have answered
Yes,
your question,
definitely.
right?
Definitely. In fact, that was a great input. And when we talk of the product, not only the product, we have to also talk of the process as well as the projects. The whole water life cycle has to be studied, and very beautifully said. And there are awareness is something which even we are striving to create. And this awareness is we have to create awareness amongst people so that it becomes a norm tomorrow, and more water is conserved. So, my next question goes to Mr. Sandeep Khanwalkar. Like, what, in your opinion, defines safe water? As a nation, how secure is our water supply, and what measures can we take to prevent a grey future?
It's Hello everyone. It's a very good question. When we talk about this safe water, so it is the five parameters we talk about. It shouldn't be contaminated with the bacteria. It shouldn't contaminate with the chemicals. It shouldn't have any odor or any other contamination or heavy metal contamination. So those are all things we do lab testing. Like, so that is not possible at the every level. So in that condition, we need to tell more people about the what is the safe water, the definition. Generally, whatever the clean water is looking, it's not possible that it will be always be a safe water, because you cannot ensure that it is not having any chemical contamination. If we see the scenario in the country, most of the water resources are getting contaminated because of the excess inflow of chemicals. They are coming from the industry, they are coming from the household also. Recently, when I was doing one course for the PhD officer, there we listed more than 45 products we are using at home. They are made of artificial chemical, and we contaminate our own water every day. And based on that, we wrote a one small awareness booklet also, which is titled, it's in Hindi, "Saavdhan aap pani mein zahar mila rahe hain." And then we printed the second copy also of that. The idea is that mostly we talk about the outside water, that it is not safe. But what about this water which you are polluting at household level every day basis? So that is the biggest challenge, because this problem is down to percolated to the rural ecosystem also. If you go, every house is using different types of chemicals in your bathing part, washing, everything, and then cleaning, everywhere you have the chemicals. Then second, the safe water challenge is coming from the agriculture sector, what Dr. Sumit was also talking. We are using extensive chemicals which are flowing from your agriculture feed to the water bodies, and those are contaminating not only your water bodies, but when you wash your utensil at the household level, then it contaminates the drainage system also. We were doing a work on in Gujarat. There we did the water testing of a village system in the village, and the water which tested, we found that the nitrate was found in the water, and that was
Okay.
very alarming, because in Madhya Pradesh, in some of the area where they are using heavy chemicals, the groundwater got contaminated and nitrate was found in those groundwater also. So this is the challenge, that how the life we are making easy without understanding how it is impacting on the availability of safe water. Because everywhere you cannot go with your mobile laboratory to test the water quality. So the scenario which is changing, what Dr. Sumit also said, that the water bottle concept which percolated down in the rural area also, and that is increasing the pressure of extraction of groundwater from the across the area, and because of that, the heavy metal is now coming in the water, the TDS. That is another problem. Most of the houses, they are dependent on the groundwater, and because of that, the energy consumption is increased in the cleaning, your cleaning of your water to get the safe water. So that is the challenge, that how much energy consumption is increasing day by day to ensure that I am drinking safe water.
Yes.
So that is a huge industry linked with that. That's the biggest challenge, because whatever the water available, we have only 0.12% water available for the drinking across the globe. because most of 2.14% water is available,
Yes.
1.78% it is in the your ice form, 0.78% is in your groundwater, and rest is available 1.018%, which is available in the lake, river system, and all that. So majority of our rivers are contaminated, and there is no sewage system or treatment system in place in our urban and rural space, where under even the Jal Jeevan mission, when government is saying that we want to supply the safe water at the doorstep, how you will ensure that that pipe water supply is safe? Because the contamination is going deep into your water resources, and you don't have the treatment system in place which can treat the contaminated by the chemicals. So that is the challenge we are facing in the supply of safe water, and because of that it is impacting on the health also, because our body is not exposed to the heavy metals which are coming in the water and which is extracting from the groundwater. So that's the biggest challenge, and how it is impacting on the health and the growth of the child's also, their mental growth. It's linked with the multiple factors. So that's linked with the water. So the safe water is another challenge for us. That's a big thing. And if we talk about the supply of the water in the rural area, we are totally depending on the groundwater. And then there is another concept is coming to recharge your groundwater. The recharge shafts are also there. Very many people are going for the tubal recharging, and that is most unsafe practice we are practicing nowadays, because your all the filters are not designed to treat the contamination by chemicals, and chemicals include the heavy metals also, like the if we see. And this is very alarming situation most of the area, because the groundwater you can't see
Yes.
how it is, and once it is contaminated, then you are gone. Majority of the area, like in Bhopal, there's a union carbide issues pop up there. It contaminated the groundwater. Many areas where the grease and oil industry is working, or the paint industry is working, their water is going, they're releasing their untreated water in the streams, and that people are using in the farming system. Recently, there is one study came that the people who applied the sludge from the tanks or there, which has the inflow of the sewage water, they those soils got the microplastics, and which is more dangerous because that microplastic is also coming into our food system. So the safe water is linked with the entire production system everywhere. So it is a very big question for everyone, that are we aware about the safe water? Whether I am getting safe water everywhere, you can't put the RO. That is expensive again. Every year you have to pay 5,000 rupees to for the maintenance, to change the filter. That's a cost effect. So why can't we have the centralized system to get the safe water? That's the challenge for the entire country, because everywhere we can't put the treatment plants. So that's the challenge. The gray future when we talk about, so can we stop using chemical products at household level? Because the largest number of gray water which is producing at the household level. Government under the Jal Jeevan mission says that we supply 55 liters water per day per person for the drinking person. 70% of that water get contaminated, and we produce it as a gray water. That who is going to recycle it? So that's the another challenge we are facing when we talk about the gray water. And to work on that, nature is playing important role. So we are designing a nature-based solution systems. We in Mahu near Indore, we designed a huge 5 hectare area as a nature-based solution to treat the sewage and gray water. So there are solutions available in the nature, but we do not have people who understand it. So we need to teach people that nature can also treat the water, because our entire water resources, they were treated by nature through the vegetation. We are removing that vegetation because we do not have understanding about those vegetation. Like the nala cleaning, we go with the JCB machine and clean everything. The sludge, we remove the sludge and everything. But with the sludge, we remove those plant and vegetation also, which actually treat your water.
Yes.
There are many plant species, they remove heavy metals from the water, like the duckweed. then you have wicked lutus is a plant, then jalkumbi is another plant. Then there are so many small plants, they are available in the water, because but we do not have understanding about those species. And when those plants are there in the water body, there are birds which comes there, they also treat your water. Then there aquatic plants also come up gradually, then their fish come. So it is an entire ecosystem that treats your dirty water and give you fresh water. But we want immediate outputs, which is not possible. Nature-based solution is a slow system, and we do not have patience. That's another challenge for us. When we want water, we want immediately open the tap and you get the water. If we compare the entire lifestyle, the huge change. So our lifestyle is increased by more dependency on water, and we are not careful about our water resources. We are careless people now.
Yes.
I'll share once 1 minute I have. I'll just share one example. It's related with the house design. It's you can think about that. Earlier, most of the houses were having only single wash basin.
Yes.
Now, all houses, if you have 3-bedroom house, in each bedroom attached toilet, then you have wash basin there. Then there is a common sink, there is a common wash. So you have 5 places where you have to maintain to clean those wash basins. To clean one wash basin, you need minimum 1 liter water. If you have 5 wash basins, how much water you need per day? 5 liters. Then you have you have bathing space, you have to clean those also. So there is the entire lifestyle which is changed, and our water consumption it's increased, especially in the urban and semi-urban area. It's gone up to 250 liters per day per person because of the change in the lifestyle. So that way our safe water availability is more challenged. We are ourselves treating our water badly and polluting it every day. So that's the gray future we are living with the chemicals, and we are thinking that oh, I'm doing great thing. So there is a booklet I'll share with you which talks about what sort of chemicals we are using every day. There's a posters we designed on that. Around the clock, if we say that from morning 6 o'clock to night 10 o'clock, there are 12 types of different products you use at household level, and you contaminate your water. And this is the gray future we are living with, and we are thinking that we are living with more clean and hygienic life we are doing. So that's the thing. I stop here because I took one more minute extra. Thank you.
Thank you for the wonderful input, sir. In fact, you have taught us one thing, that we should respect water, and we should understand that it has its supply is getting limited, because safe water is becoming a challenge, and we have to also see to it that we do not affect our future generations, where they are left with gray water. So we have to reduce water consumption on one hand, and also we have to see that what are the ways in which we can have a clean and safe water for everyone. So very beautifully said, sir. Now my next question goes to Mr. Sunil Ramareddy. What government policies or incentives could drive the widespread adoption of water conservation principles across industries and communities? And are there existing regulations addressing this? And is there any gap in these policies?
Hi, good evening, everyone. I think major of the points, like in cross collaboration, all the other three speakers have already spoken. There'll be few I want to add with policies and incentives definitely play a crucial role in driving the adoption for this water conservation across the nation. We have some policies which are like adopted in India, like one is the National Water Policy, which encourages us for water use efficiently. And also we have this Jal Shakti Abhiyan, which was started in 2019, which focuses on reuse of treated wastewater, especially in water-stressed districts. And again, we have this Amrit, that is Atal Mission for Rejuvenation of Urban Transformation, that promotes water supplies, stormwater drainages, and urban greenery. And we have this Manrega scheme, which is with Manrega scheme, which is started, which again includes the creation and also rejuvenation of this urban and this rural water bodies. And we have like zero liquid discharge for these industries, especially the industries of textile, tanneries, and also pharma, where we have norms where they have to go zero liquid discharge, where it was mentioned earlier also, like something similar to the net zero. And also we have a lot of incentives under each government, the state government too. We have in Karnataka, we have started this Amrit 2.0, where we are predominantly working on this rural waters. If you take Bangalore, the urban water bodies are almost gone to the level that they cannot be brought back. Until, as so mentioned, if we go the nature-based solutions is the best way, and we are still in the stages of exploring it more. And this is not just in India, across world. So these are the some of the things that we need to adopt to bring back. And when it comes to the state policies, this rejuvenation of this rural water bodies that is happening, the government is very clear that they need to invest more in the places where it's going to be more urbanized in the upcoming years. So they've given that a thought, and they have started moving across Bangalore. I'm considering the Bangalore's condition. They're going across the peri-urban and rural regions, where they've started working on this water, especially the inland water bodies, through this Amrit 2.0 and Manrega schemes. And we also have this compulsory rainwater harvesting, which is mandatory. When it comes to Karnataka, it is mandatory, and also in few parts of Tamil Nadu and Delhi is also, they have, these are the state-wise incentives that they have adopted. But many of the things that we see, or whatever I told, may not be like completely implemented on the ground, and definitely there are some gaps for implementing this. Uh, with my observation, what I've seen is water policies are basically not enforced uniformly across the state. There is some differences when it comes to the enforcement of it. And since working in this water body rejuvenation space, I have particularly come across and notified this Karnataka State Pollution Board when these many of these industries bypass it during the rainy time. When it rains, they just bypass it. They bypass it so that it's not identified. So these are something to be strictly monitored. And policies also, they largely concentrate on large scale industries and urban infrastructures. uh, like while the small industries and also the rural spaces, they they lack this access of funds and also the technical support. They're always seen at the end, not in the beginning. The beginning it's seen until the big players. This There is a gap in this. And we are actually spending more on the infrastructure rather than on the demand side management. Like when I say infrastructure, we're thinking of building more dams, which is going to destroy dams. Giving an example, we have this Mekedatu, which is going to come up. They're planning to come up, which is going to take thousands of acres of forest land. So we are more concentrating on having more borewells or more dams rather than creating awareness, as the previous speakers told, like using less water is equivalent to conserving water. Not only like you use and then start conserving. If you're not using also, you're conserving. That's equivalent. So we are not concentrating more on that, whether it's from the school or from the policymakers. That is a gap that is observed. And we also have, as I told, there's a lot of gap. There's only little focus on the behavioral changes of people. Until Sir told that there are almost 12 kinds of chemicals that's been used, even that gives a thought that
Yes.
makes us stop and think about it. Like, what are we doing? Okay. So this knowledge, as Sir said, this has to be like widely spread. People have to know. People have to reduce at home as much as possible. This is the gap from the lower level which has to be adopted. And we had a lot of indigenous ways, water conservation methods were there, like from the golden ages, but which are not, as rapid urbanization happens, especially in the tier 1 and tier 2 cities, we don't see that happening much. We are going to the easy ways of accessing water. Like we are pumping water. It's easy to pump water rather than treating. So we need to invest more in treating water and reusing it, at least for the industries or the flushing. But what we do is we see a place where we can construct another dam and put a pipeline and bring water here. That is not the end goal. We are not. That is not the sustainable way of going towards the future. Water is not going to be there forever for us. So with whatever we are discharging, if we are not going to treat it and use it back and use minimum of natural resources, then the whole term of sustainability doesn't work at all. So some of the we can say some of the recommendations would be, one would be like reward industries. I think they have started in few places in tier 1 cities now, that the net zero, those industries that are going net zero, they will be awarded, so that it's encouraged. They are encouraged to do more in the coming years, and many others to join that initiative. And we need to empower local bodies and citizen groups for funding and decision making. Now we have this panchayat level, and whether it's water conservation, or especially water conservation, should happen from their level itself. They have their own policymakers sitting in that particular small place, and they can take their own decisions. And they have smaller bodies where they can show a role model for this entire country, which can be executed on a larger scale too. So that is something which can be done. And also we can, like, there are a lot of NGOs like mine who are working on this water conservation. So there should be a lot of corporate collaborations to work predominantly on the water space, because it is need of the hour.
Yes.
It is need of the hour. There is no going back if you're not working on this water for the next 50, 60 years coming forward. So these are some of the gaps and some recommendations, and also the existing policies I would like to add for this.
Yeah, wonderfully said. In fact, the policymakers have to see to it that there's uniform policy for everyone, and even not only the big players, even the small players have to be addressed, and awareness
Yes.
has to be created. Along with that, also, as rightly said, that we have to be more sustainable, and we have to have more patience when it comes to water conservation, and we have to revive the old methods of conserving water, rather than just drilling water from the ground level, because we are not replenishing the ground level water. And if we keep on drilling and taking out the water, it'll be the water will become will become will become more scarce, and it will become a challenge tomorrow.
Yes.
So my next question again to you, Mr. Sunil Ramareddy, is water conservation technology still in its early stages in India? And what insights can we gain from global practices? How can advanced technologies such as AI contribute to this effort?
Uh, when you say that water conservation technology in India, uh, not entirely in the early stages, but it's a nascent to growing stage, is what I feel. Um, Especially when it comes to adoption, and also for the scaling perspective. India is predominantly working on decentralized STPs in urban townships. Like in Bangalore and Pune, we have decentralized STPs and rainwater harvesting units, which are mandated in cities like Bangalore, Chennai, Delhi, which has to be spread to others, tier 1 cities too. And when it comes to agriculture, we already have experts on the panel who can talk more on it. We have this sensor-based drip irrigations that we are using in agriculture, because agriculture needs almost 80% of the water, is a sector which needs maximum amount of water. So and again, IoT based water meters being piloted by some municipalities and private players, and reuse of again treated water is something that has to be looked on a larger scale. And many of the private players are uh, coming up with greater technologies, and also some are actually working with the government to bring out very good policies also, which I am hoping to see in the upcoming years, which is going to benefit a large amount of people. Some of the challenges that are faced in the adoption are like this high cost for MSMEs and the small industries. And we also have this lack of technical capacities to maintain these advanced systems. Giving an example, with some of the STPs that I've approached, many of them are not even manufactured in India, and many need the maintenance people also to be from the country of
Yeah.
manufacture. So that becomes an expensive job for anybody to maintain it.
Mhm.
So that is when we bring, even though we train our people from the our country, there's some gap, which is difficult to fill, and keeping those people here and for the maintenance and the cost, it's always high. And and also many of the rural and small town areas still rely on this traditional and manual methods for water conservation. So there are few things probably we can adopt from other countries, like we have Israel, which is, we all know that they are very much advanced when it comes to technology. So they have integrated technology with the agriculture too. They are a very small country, and they almost reuse almost 85% of wastewater for agriculture. They are one of the top countries that use 85%. Uh, and we have Singapore. They have this technology where they even the treated water can be used at the drinking level up to that standards. And we have Australia again, some smart uh, irrigation systems and community water credits that they have adopted from a very long time now. And again, USA uses satellite-based monitoring systems for their water bodies and all to like real time getting to know the water qualities of that water bodies that they're doing. So these are some examples that we can definitely adopt. Again, it comes at the cost. So we should be able to bear. Who's going to bear that is again a question. Not that we know the technology is there, and would always love that. As I told, few industries are really working on this, and hopefully to see these our own industries to come up at a very cost effective way, and we also treat our water, conserve our water at the levels that other countries are doing, so that we don't fall short of the water that we are currently facing. And we see that trend, like the talk is always negative, that if we are not using the wastewater, or treating the wastewater and reusing it, or not conserving the water, or digging up multiple bore wells where every year we are reducing the water tables by 1 or 2 meters. This is the trend in Bangalore. So if you're not going to come up with such technologies, the news is going to be
True.
negative. So if you want to turn the table, that is when like the technology has to be inbuilt in our own country and make it more affordable. So that whether the maintenance or the installation, so that we also can work on a larger scale in treatment or water conservation.
Very rightly said, sir. In fact, like you pointed out to a very important fact that 80% of water is used by agriculture, and agriculture is a sector which is water intensive. So my next question goes to Dr. Sumit Pal. What are the most significant barriers that marginal farmers face in adopting water efficient practices in agriculture, and how can collaboration between stakeholders help overcome these challenges? Also, elaborate on the role played by innovative irrigation.
Okay. There are two, three questions. So one by one, I will answer. Make it a
Okay,
brief only.
sure.
So first of all, you're talking about why marginal farmers are not going for the water saving techniques. So first and foremost, answer for this is because of financial restriction from their ends. Like they are not so much financially strong. And in fact, government are doing a lot of things for. There are a lot of water saving techniques. If somebody is using micro irrigation like drip irrigation and sprinkler for it, government have some subsidy plan for it under a different PM KSY scheme is there, Pradhan Mantri Kisi Sinchai Yojana. But what happened later on? Most of the marginal farmers. We are not talking about the large landowners and the middle landowners. We're talking about the smallholder farmers. They are facing to reach out at that phase. Nobody is going to tell them about that. You have to fill that form, and then you are able to get those type of tech in your field. And second thing is lack of awareness. If they think about in a that way, like if they are going to say that their groundwater level is going to depleting day by day by excessive use of extraction of that thing in their field, uh, and also they didn't aware about the modern techniques which could be helpful in water savings, and also their farm income could be increased by doing those water saving practices. uh, and if we're talking about uh, like if marginal farmers think about like if somebody by anyhow he able to get that kind of technology like dip irrigation, if they get, then what happen in next phase through subsidy, if he able to get, what happen in next phase, there is no one coming from their side from particular the vendors which are assigned for those drip irrigations and other things for maintenance and other things. So later on what happens, they will remove those things because it's easier to remove from their field and there is no maintenance for them. So it's better if government is going to apply a particular subsidy scheme or scheme for the welfare of the farmers, it should be end to end. Like if they are providing a subsidy to that, then also they ask to the vendors that they go to their field in next season and ask and put a maintenance on it, because it could be a lot of issue. Like uh, if we're talking about drip irrigation, it's a kind of a small pipes, if you can say in a layman's language. There is a chance that if water quality is not good, like more solids are there, uh, or salts are there, it there is a chance of get blockage, and
Blocking.
blocking is there. So because of that blocking, they need a maintenance for it. If there is no maintenance, then they what they will do, they will go for a easier option like flood their field, means extensive use of water from their groundwater, just extracting out and use for it. So if we are going to implement some schemes with the marginal farmers, it should be end to end, like from imparting in their field and also maintaining afterwards, after service, you can say. Then only it could be successful for water saving. Second thing is like that there are various modern techniques. Like you must be heard about AWD in right now in scenario, which is a alternating wetting and drying. Rice is a water intensive crop. Everyone knows this thing. So, but what happened in India? In Indian case, most of the farmers are going for the flooding of their field, and they are not adopting those modern techniques to save that water because they didn't care about that, because they have a sufficient water. They don't know about what happened in the future and what is the groundwater is going to depleting day by day. They have to think in that way only. Uh, uh, which is possible through their training, their capacity building, and the awareness providing to them about using that kind of techniques in their field. If somebody is using AWD technique, alternative wetting and drying, they can able to save around 30 to 40% water from their in their field in a season, if they are going to grow a rice crop in it. Second thing, third thing is like that. There are a lot of modern techniques. Lot of uh, what we can say startups are there. They are creating a lot of water saving products and all those things. But what happened? They didn't think about the situation of marginal farmers, because those are not so cost effective for them. If they are going to the market or to the nearby vendor for getting that product, it's not but they are not able to get that product because of their cost. So in the if we are able to provide a particular solution to a smallholder farmers or a marginal farmer, it should be in all point check way. We have to check all the points in that.
Yes.
Now your second question is we have
How
like
can collaboration between the
how
stakeholders?
collaborations and other things we have to do. So obviously, uh, if we have a situation of want to go in a situation of water saving techniques, water saving modern techniques, and other things, it should be go by in hand by through private partnership, by NGOs, and by the government, by government initiatives. Because in collaboration, it could be happen if some government, if our Indian government providing a subsidy or a scheme for a particular farmer, it should be reach through some NGOs or some partners which are present in the field through that farmer, and also through those NGOs or private partners, it could be implemented in that field and also provide a capacity building, that how they are going to use the techniques in the field, and ultimately how it's going to be benefited for them. And if they are require any further support to utilize the technology later on in their in another season or other, it should be provided to them in that manner. So hand in hand, we have to go with government, with NGOs, with private partners for that. Like PPP model, we have to follow for that. And then if we talking about the innovative technologies, yeah, just I have talked about that AWD, which is an alternating wetting time technology, which is quite popular in all over globe, you can say, where rice is very main staple crop. Like if we're talking about Indonesia and Asian countries, rice is majorly grown and also exported to those countries which are not rice growers. So it's a water intensive crop. If we are going for the AWD technique, then obviously we are going to save around 30 to 40%
30.
water each and every season for that. And it could be helpful in increase their farm income of marginal farmers who are going to grow that crop. And second thing is that there is some different techniques are also which are not directly related with water, but it's related to the farming practices. Like if we're talking about DSR, which is a direct seeded rice, which is related to rice only. Instead of going for the nursery and other things, farmers are directly growing that seed of that particular rice in the field only, and putting different micro irrigation techniques for that, for providing that water, which is quite helpful in saving around 50 to 60% of water, because ultimately they are not going to flooding that field, which they are going through their traditional method, which is totally cut off. They directly use drip irrigation technique to uh, irrigate that particular seed of that rice in it. And also it could be helpful in reduction of different greenhouse gases. So it's a kind of climate smart technology also. If somebody is using that technique, it it will ultimately reduce the methane emission from the field if somebody is using
Yes.
DSR. Right now, in Punjab, in Haryana, and in some part of Western UP, government providing subsidy who are going to use DSR as a major technique in the Kharif season, and around 4,000 per acre they are providing subsidy for them to use the technique in their field. So these are kind of innovative. Yeah, some techniques. Mr. Sunil also said that different IoT enabled and sensor-based techniques we can use out. So those techniques are also like different weather station, uh,
Yes.
moisture meters are there, which we can check it out by putting in the field through like a sensor technology, and they can check it out that if the moisture is going to dip around 10 to 15% instead of 30%. So they need to irrigate that field. Unnecessarily, they are not going to irrigate that field. So
Yes.
these are kind of innovative techniques we can use, and we can impart to the smaller farmers by different ways. But it should be end-to-end solution for it. So
Yes.
I hope I answer your
Yeah,
question.
very beautifully said, sir. Very wonderfully elaborated. In fact, you have very rightly pointed out that there should be end-to-end solution. In fact, just providing subsidy for a particular product is not enough. The maintenance of that product is also
Yes.
required, and along with that, the use of proper techniques can reduce use of water and can lead to sustainable water conservation. That was really a very very good input. Now I move to Mr. Sandeep Khanwalkar. Kindly enlighten us how biotech can be used to conserve water, and also their industry specific are there industry specific technologies to be used for preserving and treatment of wastewater.
Thank you. Very pertinent question and the need of the day for that. See, biotechnology, if we use for the water, so there are different models which motivate you to conserve your water in your premises. But whether it is a priority of that industry or the people or not, because most of the water resources we are just filling like a landslide, we are filling them. So where you are going to store the water, because most of the area we are losing in the road or widening the road or housing and everything, we are losing most of the area where water used to stored traditionally. So that's the one challenge. So if you want to conserve more water in a smaller area, so you have to adopt different material, like the wood dust you can use, the charcoal you can use, sand you can use. If you can fill that area, so you can conserve more water during the rainy season. Because the problem is that every like year we get the rainy season, so then we think, oh, this year very good rain, so there is no need for the conservation. But the conservation practices has to be the round the year. Wherever you are using the water, it should go through a filter system. So there the nature-based solutions plays very vital role, because there are different types of species, they treat the water. So whether you are releasing water from a chemical industry or a construction industry or the cloth industry or any plastic industry, wherever different types of water you are releasing into the water in the water bodies, you adopt the nature-based solution so that water goes treated, and then you should have a underground storage facilities also. Like in Rajasthan, they used to do the Tanka system is there where you store the rainwater and every year you use it. But contaminated water you cannot store in any place. So that's the challenge. So how you can treat your contaminated water? So there is a need to increase the awareness level of the people. That's very important, because if you don't know that my water is contaminated or my water body is having contaminated water, so there are technology people are using, which like there is a contaminated water is coming from any chemical industry, so that color will change that if it is contaminated. So those types of models we can use it in the river system, like in Gujarat, Mehsana, where we are demonstrating a nature-based solution in a village. There we are using different types of filter media which are very low cost, available locally. But people are not aware that by using those media, we can treat the water, can release the odor also. So those small things we demonstrated the live filter, how you can make a live filter using the different material. You just put them and then water is treated. So that way you have to demonstrate different model across the places where people are working, and the different sensor you can use it which alarms you that this water is getting contaminated. So you to use the different technology which is the nature based also, and the AI system also you can use it, so that people are aware that the NBS nature based solution and use of the technology, sensor based technology, you can alarm people first that this water is getting contaminated, and these are the models you can treat the water. So I'll just stop here because time is also a concern. Thank you.
Very rightly said, sir. When we talk of water conservation, people
because there could be some internet issue.
Yeah, there is the internet issue.
Yeah, we'll wait.
There is one question also in the chat box.
Yeah, we can take it that question. So what kind of policies which still people are not aware have shown the most effectiveness in the encouraging water conservation at the household level? Maybe viewer is asking like what kind of policies that, because for household usage there's no such policies. I guess the policies are only for industries and for the big or small scale industry or big industry. So So you want to know about, is there any policy, such policies for household usages?
See, I just answer quickly. Under the Jal Jeevan Mission, Government of India is saying when you are getting the safe drinking water supply through your tap connection, so whatever the grey water is coming, you have to treat that water also before it is going into the water body. So you can put a water treatment solution low cost at the household level. There are different models we also design which can be connected through the whatever the wastewater is coming out from the house, so that is treated properly and going into the water body. So that is possible, but it requires a cost. So there is no specific budget available for treating the grey water or sewage water coming out from the village. But at the household level, definitely under that they are putting water treatment plants like the constructed wetlands, which is again the resource required solutions, and that gram panchayat can't run those then. Like you need to use the LM to treat the water, you need the lime to treat the water, and then again operation and maintenance. So this is the another big challenge. Even if you demonstrate certain technology at the village level, so who will pay for the operation and maintenance of those technologies? So there is a policy gap right now there.
Yeah.
I would like to add some things. So when we are talking about policies, as you rightly mentioned, that there is no such governmental policy as of now. But organizations like Indian Green Building Congress, and then we have GRIHA also. Okay, so this kind of organization now started for residential buildings also. And local governments like in Bangalore also and in Pune also, I have seen at these two locations that if a residential complex or a residential society, they have their own sewage treatment plant. Okay, and if they are maintaining some specific standards, they do get some extra benefits on tax. So whatever tax they have to pay, they get some rebate on that. And as I mentioned earlier, the green building certifications, so many residential complexes, they have started using water saving fixtures, sewage treatment plants, cleaning products, as I think Mr. Sandeep mentioned about the cleaning products which we use in day-to-day cleaning.
Yeah.
So at Ekam Eco, what we are working is we are working on a CPR basis. So we work in conserve, protect, and restore. Okay, so in conservation, we have waterless urinal fixtures and other fixtures which help you to save water. In protect, we have developed bacterial culture-based cleaning solutions. So instead of chemical-based solutions, we are promoting bacterial culture-based, bioenzyme-based solutions, which we use as protect to protect the water from getting contaminated. And in restoration, we do sewage treatment plants, we do water body rejuvenation. I think as Sunil mentioned about there's water body rejuvenation. So many projects are going in and around Bangalore. We did some projects in Haryana. We were also part of Namami Gange project, where we have treated a 3 or 4 kilometer long stretch of Ganga River.
Yeah.
So this kind of options are there. So even we were talking about the technology in my previous question. There was mention about the technology or the process or product we are designing. So at the time of designing a product, we should always focus that how it will be easy for everyone to use. Because sometimes what happens, we design a product, but it is very complicated to use. If we talk about implementation part, it is very tough to implement in local bodies. So we need to think that also.
Yeah, especially for the end users, it should be very user friendly so that they can easily adopt. And also attached to this question, I have one more question where Sandeep sir can able to elaborate more. So it create a call for even for the chemical manufacturers who are manufacturing chemicals to clean the household utensils or maybe bathrooms. Okay, so why can't be a bio product, chemical related products where it creates less harm at least? Okay, we can't come with 100% harmless. That is a less harm kind of bio products for the cleaning purpose. Basically, it's already there in market. Whether there is a demand for that.
See, I'll answer differently to your question. So there are different bioproducts which are, but people generally what we psyche we have, the human psyche. We need quick solutions. Everything is to be done quickly, right? So, and if you ask a common man, they don't know how much quantity of drainage I should use to clean the drainage. They just use and put the dump. For even for the cleaning of toilet, they don't know how much quantity I should use it. They just flood it with that chemical. So this is the another challenge. Even if you put the biochemicals to use or clean it, so how much quantum I should use? That is the biggest challenge. People are not aware. Even if you use the washing machine, you don't know that how much kg, like 6 kg of your cloth, how much quantum of liquid you are needed, or the powder you need. So this is the biggest challenge we are facing nowadays, because the market is pushing you to make your life easy.
Exactly.
The products which are coming into the market, they are saying that we are making your life simpler. You can have more luxury in your life, but we forget that this luxury at what cost?
Yeah.
We are contaminating our most precious resource, that is water, every day, and we are pumping it. So that's the biggest challenge. So, and like what Mr. Shreyas was talking, that where I live in the society, we have a STP there, but who will monitor that STP is actually treating the sewage properly? That comes into our toilet flushing and all that, but that is not properly treated. So you have system in place to just tick box we have STP, but whether that STP is functioning or not, there is no monitoring system in place. So this is another policy method. Whether you are saying that n number of household, if you are having in a township, you should have your own STP, and then that society is not equipped with maintaining that STP, because they can't bear the cost of a technical person who will monitor you. So this is another link question, which is very important and pertinent to understand that how the pollution of water is a big challenge for the future generation.
True. There's one question I would like to ask Mr. Shreyash Trivedi. It is about how startups can influence the investor so that the innovative business ideas in water conservation materialize and flourish, and enlighten us from the Indian perspective.
So it's a very good question, because at the end of the day, if anyone want to do a startup in specifically in water conservation, they must know that is it worth doing or not, because so many times we see that people don't want to get into such thing because it's not a money making thing. Okay, we on every day we are seeing that, okay, that company that grown for last year it was 4 crore and now it is 400 crores. Okay, so water conservation or sustainability or ESG kind of products, that will take time. Okay, it will take time. So first, what I feel as a startup, because we are a startup, we started a startup only. So now we are 11-year-old company. And what we feel is that if you have a problem statement, okay, currently whatever we discuss, we have discussed so many different problems which are there in the market. So problem is there. Okay, you have the customer segment is also there, because those people who are facing that problem, they are your customers. What you just need to do, you need to design a product which will fulfill their requirement. First thing. Second thing, what we need to focus is that the product which we develop, that should be, not I'll not say it as a cheap, but it should be economical and specifically affordable. If you are providing a solution, then it should be affordable. That should be your goal. Okay, because if you are developing a technology but it is not affordable, because I think you asked a question to someone regarding AI. Okay, so just last month I was talking with someone and he was mentioning about an AI tool in
Yes.
water metering and all. So his product he was talking about, that was costing about 70-80,000 rupees. Okay, for per household. So that is not a feasible product. As a common man, no one will pay 70-80,000 for a water meter which is AI enabled. They will not they do not care about AI and all. Okay, so your product should also be physical and affordable. Third thing is, it is always about storytelling. Okay, So it should be how you present your product. If you are facing a problem and you are constantly complaining about it, then it will make a negative impact. Okay, so your impact should always be positive, that even if there is a problem, your product is solving the problem, then you should go with the positive side instead of going for the negative side. So the storytelling should be there. There is another point also, which I just got 2 3 example last week only. Yes, another thing. So many times what people do is, I have seen 2 3 founders. So what they did is they designed a product. They started well, they got funding and everything, but they could not hold it up for a longer period of time, because either they lose the patience, or maybe their business model was not self-sustaining, because at the end of the day sometimes you have to be a self-sustaining model. You cannot wait for the fundings all the time. So it should be the business model you go in, that should be self-sustaining, so that you will, even if you are not getting funding at that specific time, you can keep pushing yourself towards a longer run, because sometimes it will take time. Okay, and another thing is that you should pitch your product to the right person specifically. So many time some people complain that, okay, we have pitched our product to so many investors, but they are not funding us, or we are not getting the results we want. So maybe because we are pitching it to the wrong person, because if you are talking about companies who are working in ESG, or if you have a product which is water saving fixture, or water conservation related thing, or something like this, okay, then you should go towards people who are actually investing in impact driven companies. There are different kind of investors. If you go on Google and check, there are some companies who is only doing impact investing. So they are investing in only those companies who are making some impact. It is not about how much revenue you are generating or how big your company is. They're not mainly focused on that. They are focused on what is the impact you are creating. So you should also focus on the right track, that where I am pitching my product. Because if you are constantly giving pitch to investors, but you are not getting any funding, okay, it means maybe you are doing it at the wrong place. You should find the right person. And it's not and one more thing, I think someone mentioned about Amrut City project. Okay, so we were part of Amrut City also. And you use so many government grants are there. Not only government grants, also some big companies like Tata have their grant for such innovative products. Then Reliance is also having such thing. So many companies, they are also giving huge grants for startups to work in such field. If you are working in ESG fields, they do give grant. You will get some CSR funding also. If your product is very very innovative and such thing, you can also get some CSR funding for you can do CSR work for them. So that is also there. So I think if you have a good idea, if you are actually solving the problem, then there is huge market. You can definitely get a lot of success in that. It will take time, but it will definitely give you success.
Wonderful.
I hope I
Yes,
answered your
yes,
question, right?
wonderfully said, sir.
Yeah.
Now I would like to invite the other panel members if they would like to add to the discussion, if there's any point they want to convey to the viewers. Most welcome, sir.
Okay. So should I start?
Yes, Dr. Sumit Pal, please.
Yeah. So as I'm in an agriculture sector, but when I'm doing my doctorate from Indian Institute of Technology, I have uh, created one uh, a small bioreactor plant for it for treatment of wastewater, and I think like that we have devoted that thing to the ICR only. So from that point of view, I can say if we want to uh, clean a particular nala and the drainage which is going to the river, we should start working on decentralized approach of that. We should use a different bioreactors which should be placed in different places and which could be located anywhere where they are required for the treatment of that plant. So in that manner, we can go. It could be beneficial for us At least in the case of, if we're talking about Delhi region, Yamuna, it's quite polluted. So we can go through that technology. We should place some decentralized bioreactor near to the near to that particular drain where it is falling into the river of Yamuna. So those things we can plan, which helpful in reduction of pollution, which are coming from the household, from the industry, from different places where it is coming from. And second thing, if we think about recycling of water, uh, when we are going to treat that water, obviously that water consists of different type of nutrients in it, which could be helpful if we're talking about only irrigation sector. It could be helpful for the farmers, at least for the peri-urban area farmer, the farmers which are living around a city and doing that agriculture, and they have an agriculture field in their near to
Yes.
their area, and they are doing that kind of job for that. So those peri-urban farmer can be benefited from those decentralized bioreactors where they can continuously getting that particular irrigation water after treatment, and which is also carrying a different nutrients in it. So they further they need not to put any agri inputs in it. Okay, maybe some reduction in some agri inputs, like if we have a like nitrogen, some amount of nitrogen present in it,
Yes.
then they need to reduce some amount of application of urea in their field for particular growth of that plant which they are growing in their field. So in that manner also we can say, first they can reduce the nutrient applications in the field, like nitrogenous application, and also it helpful uh, uh, like helpful in putting extra burden on the fresh water. We can use wastewater for the recycled wastewater for the irrigation sector
Yes.
for that.
Wonderfully said.
And yeah,
Yes.
so those things we can plan. We can we can do those things on individual level also, because if somebody have a field, they can contact ICR body for that decentralized bioreactor design, bioreactor with them, and they can use those things in the field. So those things could be possible in the field, and it helpful in water saving. Ultimately, we have to save our fresh water. We have to save our groundwater. And and one of the classic case I just tell about the Punjab situation. In Punjab, although Punjab is the name came from after five rivers, and is still what we are what we are seeing in right now in present scenario, the groundwater level going to be decreasing day by day in that particular area in Punjab. And the reason for that is the government, what they are providing subsidies and they are providing free electricity. So they ultimately what they are doing, they are extensively uh, taking out that groundwater for using of that purpose, instead of going their older plan, their traditional method of canal irrigation and other things. So there we can also check and use a different water saving techniques and maintain that groundwater level by applying some, at least some check on it, that nobody is going to use extra electricity or extra thing. If they are exploiting that water in that area
Yes.
groundwater level, it should be stopped in some manner. Or we can also implement some smart meter in that area, that they need to they have to be capped around that much of gallon of water they can use. If more than that, then it should be cut it out
Yes.
from their field. Like that, we can go also.
Very tightly
So these
said,
are
sir.
my,
Very tightly
yeah,
said, sir.
these are,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
And
Thank
Sandeep, sir, do you have anything to add to the conversation? Any point you feel would be of use to the viewers?
Sure, sure. See, the very good discussion, but time is also another constraint. So we have to close on
Yeah,
time also.
I can
Yeah.
understand.
See,
Yeah.
what is the biggest problem that any technology you introduce, there is a operation and maintenance issues will always be there. And for that, you need resources, both financial and human resources, material, all that. But if you go with a solution which require less of operation and maintenance, so those models are more sustainable in nature. So that is the nature based, because why I'm saying, we designed that sewage treatment model in Mahu, and last 3 years it is functioning very well without any operation and maintenance cost. So it's treating the three nala sewage water completely, and there is a fish also, grass also. There's complete ecosystem is there. Birds now came back into that. So it's now the nesting site also for the so many birds. So that's the so you create ecosystem. But in the urban system, you cannot create such types of models. So that the decentralized thing, what Dr. Sumit and Shreyas also said, that we need to go for the decentralized model, which are less requirement or operation and maintenance, and the people can be taught on that how they can change their filter media and from where they can procure it. So then that will be a sustainable model. So the water resources recycling is possible, because most of the areas the farmers are using the dirty water, the sewage water, for the production of vegetable and crops and all things. And that way, whatever the vegetables we are using, especially in the urban area, they are heavily contaminated with the heavy metals, which is having a threat to your health issue. So the solution should be a sustainable solution, which can be easily managed at the decentralized level, and people are aware about the operation and maintenance of that, and whatever the filter media or anything they need, it is easily available in the nearby area. Like the blanket, you can call and it is available. So that's types of model we need to demonstrate, which is easy to operate and easy to maintain. That's the point I just wanted to.
Yeah, wonderfully said, sir. So now with this, we come to the end of the webinar, and I thank all the panel members for their valuable contribution. And I also thank the viewers for their valuable time and supporting our webinar. And I also request them to follow our LinkedIn page for engaging in more content on eco-friendly topics. And they should not forget to like and share the webinar. And also, we are coming up with a summit on water conservation at Bangalore on 18th of June. 2025. So we ask all the viewers to be posted with the same, and we'll keep informing you about the same. So with this, we thank all the panel members with our for being with us and for giving their valuable time to us, and also the viewers for giving their time to us as well. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. It was a
Thank you.
pleasure meeting, interacting with you.
Thank you, Shrestha. Thank you, Shreyas.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Sandeep.
Thank you.
Bye bye, all
Thank
of
you.
you. Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.